Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my Balmung armor time lapse. Before this footage, I wasn't able to film it, but as you can see on the left and the right, my hip armor was made just by putting 2 pieces of craft foam together and hot gluing it, and the piece in the middle was made the same way. So what I'm doing is adding accent strips with craft foam on top of craft foam. I basically ran out of Warbler, so that's why I started doing this method. So what I'm doing is measuring out strips and just hot gluing them right onto the armor. Then I moved on to adding D-rings into my Warbler armor. So what I'm doing is cutting out strips and heating both the strip and the armor and attaching the D-ring that way. So for my shoulders, there are 2 D-rings in the front and the back. And then my shins get 2 D-rings on each side. So when you put Warbler between the D-rings and put it on top of the Warbler, it makes it super duper secure. So those D-rings are not going anywhere, but they are still flexible enough to move around. Then I primed all my armor pieces with a couple layers of Mod Podge. This Mod Podge, though it's painting on a little white, it does actually dry clear. And it dries really smooth. So if you put on a couple layers, it will make your armor super duper smooth before painting. And after everything was painted and smoothed down, I did a light sanding with mixing between 200 and 400 grit on everything to give it a nice smooth finish. Then after spraying the base color onto my shin armor, I went into painting it. I needed it to be a darker color than what the spray base was, so I just mixed in some blue and black acrylic paint just to make a dark blue. Then once that dried, I put a lighter dark blue onto the accent strips. If you look closely into Balmung's armor, you can see that these accent strips are a different color than the rest of his shin armor, so I wanted to make sure it was accurate to his game model. And then after spraying down a silver base onto the shoulders and breastplate and hip armor, I'm painting on gold onto the accent strips. And with that paper towel, I'm just wiping away any accidental paint that gets on my armor. If you just wet a paper towel a little bit, you can wipe away most acrylic paint before it dries, so if you mess up, you can do that pretty quickly. And that's it. The reveal of this cosplay will be on my other social media pages, so feel free to check that out. And thank you guys for watching.